go to local legends. So these are anything unique, regional or national folklore, anything that appeals to you, whether it's from your own country or not, or from your region that you grew up in. Anything you want to share.
I'll start off if you guys are cool with that. So I live in the Midwest of the United States of America, which it has a lot of hauntings in itself. You move it down even closer, I am in the Chicagoland area, and Chicago and the Chicagoland area is a very haunted city and surrounding suburbs. The most local legend to me is a haunted cemetery known as Bachelor's Grove. And the legend I actually really want to talk to, because there's multiple haunting stories that you can find within this cemetery. The one that I kind of want to talk about is the Phantom House of Bachelor's Grove. So it's a little different now. Like, they have hours that you're able to go, but this was like a cut off cemetery. You were not allowed to go. If you ever heard people, especially like of the late 90s, early 2000s, talking about Bachelor's Grove, they snuck in. They were trespassing. You had to go certain times. You had to watch out for police, et cetera, et cetera. And the Phantom House is this haunted space in Bachelor's Grove. There's this open field area, and it is said between certain times, a lot of people have saw an apparition of this house, like an old Victorian building and a two-story Victorian home. The thing is, were homes in the area like way back when, but nothing that fits the description of this house. So no one knows where people came up with this description, because none of the houses in that area ever looked like it. But it is also said to believe that people went missing, and it is a story of friends saying, like, if you see, you're only supposed to see a glimmer of the house. Like, you never fully see it. It goes away like super quickly if you did spot it. Again, like an apparition. But if it was ever like stagnant enough and you were able to find yourself to open the door and enter the house, you were never to be seen again. I love this story, and this is the one that really got to me in my early 20s to trespass and go check it out. I did not see the Phantom House, but I mentioned earlier that I did have something that kind of happened, but I don't know if I truly happened, because I'm very observant of what, especially if I'm not somewhere where I should be. I like to pay attention to my surroundings, and it's a creepy cemetery. I did look around. I looked at all the headstones, but the main goal was to look for this house. So scan the cemetery, see nothing. It's just an old abandoned cemetery. Look for the house, see nothing. On my way back from the field where I was hoping to have caught a glimpse of the house. And again, this could be, the cemetery is pretty close by, and there was no one around me, or at least that I was able to see. So this could very much be a case of someone was there and I just didn't see them. I just don't think I was gone from the cemetery long enough for someone to be there and then without me noticing. But as I was walking back, one of the gravestones had a bouquet of flowers. I did not see them when I was going the first time, but coming back, I saw them. Again, I'm one of those people. I look at it. Obviously, I'm going to go for a logical explanation. And I'm going to assume someone was there, but it's just a really creepier coincidence that I did not see anyone at all the entire time I was there. So to make yourself available to drop off flowers and then head out without me hearing or seeing anything, it's a little coincidental, but that is my story with Bachelor's Grove, which is our local lore here in the Chicagoland area.
Oh, great. Okay. Do y'all ever talk about Candyman? Because I know that Candyman was around the Chicagoland area as well.
It is. That's why I said Chicago, very haunted. I think one of the haunted hotel movies, I think it's Room 1408 or something like that, was based off of the haunting of the Drake Hotel. We have because Al Capone was very famous gangster of the United States of America, and there was also the St. Valentine's Day Massacre that occurred in Chicago, and a lot of people have haunted stories about that. Downtown, as much as people love to tour downtown Chicago, there's a lot of haunted buildings and areas that people are aware of. Yeah, we have a lot of haunted lore. Chicago is a very haunted city.
Oh, beautiful. I love it so much. I love haunted cities. Well, because you also are learning about the history as you're discovering it. And as we've talked about on the Horror Mosaic and all kinds of podcasts all over the place and on your channels as well, horror comes from our real lives, and it's the way that we express and understand the horrors in our real life. And so, yeah, I think that's partly what makes things like folklore and things like legends so fascinating, because they come from someplace within us, whether it's a haunting or whether it's some sort of creature. Does Illinois have any cryptids that you know about, Mike?
I want to say we do. I just don't remember what it is.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I was looking stuff up because, I was looking stuff up. I don't necessarily know of a cryptid that we have, but we have another story that will come up a little later for another story.
Ooh, okay. Well, I've spent some time camping in the woods of southeastern Illinois, and it's just beautiful there. But I have heard some creepy sounds in the woods, so keep your eyes peeled whenever you go camping there. Okay. What about you, Sam and Brendan? Anything in your...
No, we're going to combine our answers here.
That's fine.
Okay.
I found one online that I was going to bring up. You could bring up the place we're going this month.
Sure.
Waits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Okay, so I have this place that I went to. Was I in high school or like just after high school? We were driving, so we were over 16. There's this place in the city I grew up called Black Bridge, and if it's like this bridge that only one car can drive on at once because it's like a one lane. It's really rickety and it's over water, and it's like, I don't know. It just so happened every time I went there, it was super like misty and foggy and creepy because we would go at night too, right? But it was known to be haunted. They said like a girl died in the river, and I don't know, you could see her and stuff. I went there with friends many times at night to scare ourselves. And yeah, it's creepy. It's really creepy because it's a creepy bridge. I never saw anything. We brought Ouija boards, like nothing ever happened. I don't know if we actually did the Ouija board though, because we probably got scared and like drove away, but we brought them with us. But yeah, that's the local one that I grew up with in my hometown. And then one I did some Googling. I found, a few, but I'll bring up one. It's called Gaciendietha, the Lake Ontario's Hydra serpent.
Ooh.
Lake Ontario.
Wait, say that name again.
Gaciendietha, Gasyendietha.
I'm looking it up. That's a beautiful name. But go ahead.
I'll just read what it says here. Lake Ontario, surrounded by the ancient hills of the Iroquois and Algonquin, is said to have been home to a race of giant serpent dragons. Among these mythical creatures, Gaciendietha, a massive hydra snake capable of breathing fire and flying like a bird, was revered by the Seneca people. In 1805, fishermen near Kingston alleged an encounter of a serpentine creature in Lake Ontario led to local panic, adding to the legend of the fearsome Gacy and Dietha. Described, take a shot every
Jeez.
time I say that. Described as a hydra snake with the ability to breathe fire and fly, Gacy and Dietha's origins involve being born from serpent eggs and arriving on Earth via a meteor.
Oh,
I love the ending of that. It's just like, oh, it came here by meteor, by the way.
I know.
Okay, well,
By the way,
Jesus Christ. So you could call him Gacy for short, like John Wayne Gacy.
yeah.
That might be easier. That's fascinating. I didn't know you all had dragons up in Canada.
Me neither.
Giant serpent. So have you ever seen this dragon, Brendan, when you were out on your smoke break?
no, there are a couple. We have a couple lake creatures though.
What do you mean?
There's another one. There's like Loch Ness. We have our own Loch Ness here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's in Lake Michigan or not, but there is another one. There's a I don't think it is Lake Michigan, but there is another sea Nessie kind of creature here in Canada. I just can't remember what it's called. Impopogo, that's it.
Oh, I was just gonna say
Oh,
the elusive Lake Simcoe monster.
Yeah, that's it.
What was
Oh,
the
I
name?
forget
I'll
you
have to-
guys have the other side of Lake Michigan.
Yep.
Because when you said
Yep.
that, I was like, hey, wait, that's my lake.
Yeah, so Lake Michigan is home to you said Phantom House Story, but Lake Michigan is a Phantom Ghost ship
Oh.
that you can see some
Oh,
mornings
that's
and night.
awesome.
Yes, I do remember that one from Creepy Canada. Um, I did come up with a local one actually from the town I grew up in, and it was that our theater, or like stage theater, was haunted, and
Oh,
every once
yeah.
in a while you could see somebody in the light booth, and you'd hear somebody
Ooh.
laughing and stuff like that around. But that's the only one I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk
Those
about Wade's
are-
Manor?
Oh yeah, so Wade's Manor is local to our town, where this house has a bunch of cursed items in it.
He's basically like the
The
Warrens.
Warrens, yes.
So we're going this October. We're going with some friends, and he does tours in
cool.
his house. He just lives in this house filled with haunted items. And
Mhm.
Selena Spooky Boo went there and was posting pictures and stuff because she's from here. And yeah, we're gonna go and get a tour, and
And
go
take
see
home some items.
we're not taking anything home. We're not touching anything.
I might still latch on to you. Y'all are great.
Don't read the book, Sam. Don't read the book, even though I know you want to.
Oh, trust me, I want to.
No Latin. No Latin.
No Latin, no. Yeah, that's exciting. I love stories like that, and I think every community has fascinating stories. Even in my nomadic life, whenever I just end up in a random spot in the wilderness, I think I was in Oklahoma, and I just stopped in this random spot where I knew I could park, and there's absolutely nothing anywhere near me. And so I look at the map because I'm trying to find a grocery store, and I see like the closest street or dirt road right next to me is called Dead Woman Road. And I was like, Jesus Christ. So I looked it up, and I looked up like that. It wasn't even a city. It was an incorporated community or something. And yeah, as it turns out, there was like a long lore associated with that road. So it's just like literally everywhere you go, you can run into these sorts of things, and I love it. But yeah, we definitely had those in the area where I was growing up, with lots of different hauntings and things. And of course, in Memphis, everywhere is haunted. I've done ghost tours in New Orleans. It's so much fun to see all the different hauntings. But when I think of cryptids in my home state in South Carolina, we have something that's I think it's called the Lizard Man. But it is what it sounds like, and it's in the low country swamp areas, that sort of thing. And we also have the Bigfoot sightings in those areas too, but it's more of the swamp ape type, or skunk ape, I'm sorry, is what they call it. The skunk ape is the low wetlands variety of Bigfoot. So we have that down there. And I think that's that's kind of where my interest in Bigfoot mythology started. So I love mythology, and I love how stories get passed down over time, and why we tell each other stories, and why do we want to believe in these sorts of things. So I wanted to ask you about that. When it comes to Bigfoot, or when it comes to any sort of cryptid or lore or legend, why do we really want these things to be true?
Who's we? That's going to be my answer to this, is who is we? Because again, I love horror. I love cryptids in horror. No, I do not want any of these things to be true. I want them to be fake. I do not want to run into Bigfoot, Mothman, Frogman, the Jersey Devil. No. So I will let you guys answer that, because my answer is, who is we?
I think I want the ghost ones to be real, because I want to see it. I want to go and scare myself. I don't believe in, like, I don't know, like Bigfoot and stuff like that. But I think people, it uses your imagination and whatnot, and it kind of almost brings you back to being a kid, because like kids would believe that kind of stuff, and they're fun little stories and whatnot. So I guess they keep you young.
That has to be the first time I've ever heard that take on this. That's hilarious. I love it.
They
It
keep
keeps
you
you young. Hey, you want to stop the aging process? Believe in Bigfoot. That'll do it.
I love that.
Okay, Brendan, what do you say?
I think that people want to believe in these types of creatures because it makes the world feel a little less discovered than what it is. It adds mystery to the world, in a world where essentially almost everything has been solved, other than realistically, like the depths of the ocean are pretty much the only thing we haven't explored, except for some deep parts of the Amazon. And I think people need some sort of mystery, myths or legends to believe in and hunt after, because otherwise
Not very exciting.
it's not very exciting. It's pretty boring.
It's like the afterlife.
Exactly.
Figure out what
Like,
happens.
that's why there's so many people still hunting after, like Atlantis or the Holy Grail, or like all that stuff, the Ten Commandments, the whatever the Indiana Jones treasure box is,
Yeah.
it just means there's some more mystery, and there's still stuff to be discovered, when it feels like everything has been.
I think that's brilliant. And actually, I think Sam and Brendan, your answers are two sides of the same coin, or they support each other, because you have this sense of wonder and sense of discovery that Brendan is talking about, which we feel all the time when we're young. And that's why life feels so short. I mean, so long. When we're younger, we're like, 1 year, that's such a long time. And as we get old, it feels like, oh, I do that in my sleep. And so you lose the sense. It's because everything is so familiar. You lose the sense of wonder and discovery. And so we want these things to be real, like Sam said, so that we could be young again, in a way. And there's also a brilliant podcast about this, which is Wild Things. And so this woman discovered that her great uncle is the world's foremost expert, or was, because he's dead, but the world's foremost expert on Bigfoot. And he was also an extremely well-respected anthropologist, believe it or not. So there were those two things in his life. And she's an NPR journalist. So she puts together this podcast discovering, like, why do people want to believe in Bigfoot, talking to people who believe in him and stuff like that. And she doesn't believe in it. But what she settles on, in a way, is this, it's kind of a beautiful thing that the image of Bigfoot is always blurry. Because it's this thing that we're always grasping at that we can't quite connect to anymore. And that's like our most primitive selves, the version of us that's out in nature, totally wild, totally uninhibited by society's constraints. And so we want it to be real, because something deep inside of us really needs to connect with that again. But we can't, because we live in a society. So I think that's a really interesting view on it as well, on why we want it to be real. Or why we continue chasing it, and why it's compelling to us. So, are there any other cryptids that you guys like? Mothman prophecies, anybody?
I mean, that's a good one. You can't go wrong with a little bit of Mothman. Do you know about Mothman?
No.
What town did he show up in? Does anybody? I don't remember.
Is it Point Pleasant or Mount Pleasant or something like that? Is that right?
Something Pleasant. And then I just, because I Googled it when you asked me about like local cryptids, and I guess apparently Chicago has its own Mothman. I was not aware of that we had a Mothman. I knew we had like some other cryptids in deeper Illinois. I know there's a mud monster cryptid.
Mud monster.
I love that.
Yeah, like I know it has a name, but I just know it's like a muddy type monster in like more southern Illinois. But yeah, I was looking it up, and I guess we have a Mothman in Chicago. So I have not ever seen or heard of this Mothman, but Google says we do.
That's cool. So now you'll see them everywhere you go. Just don't go on the bridge, because I think that was the big disaster that was associated with Mothman originally. Are there any movies about cryptids that you all like a lot? While you're thinking of that, I'm gonna show you a picture too.
Absolutely.
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna bring up The Empty Man. I haven't seen it in quite some time, but I remember at the end of it, my brain was just like going because it was such a mind-bending ending. But quick synopsis: girl goes missing. An ex-cop comes across a group of kids trying to summon a terrifying supernatural entity. Yeah, it was really creepy, and I thought it was really well done. It's a long movie, but it's been a minute since I've seen it too, so I don't remember everything. But Empty Man is really good.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I hadn't thought about that movie in a while. I'll go back and rewatch it again. I love Bigfoot movies, so I've got any Bigfoot movie I'll watch it no matter what. And even though I know what's coming whenever I watch some of these, because let's be honest, this category is not filled with the greatest of movies. But it does have a lot of really good ones, and some of my favorites are Willow Creek. Now, I cite Willow Creek because I just think it's so unique in that it does it takes the lore of Bigfoot and does the whole like they steal your wife and make him a forest wife thing, which you don't see in a lot of Bigfoot movies. And I love the tent scene. I think it's really tense. Having been someone who's camped in the deep woods, it does get scary as shit out there when you're by yourself. And when there's a big thing moving around your tent, that's one of the scariest feelings you'll ever have. So it's kind of hard to exactly display that in a movie, but I think they did a pretty good job with it. So I love that. I love the Lost Coast tapes, which is kind of, I think it's so fun. The acting is a little bit over the top, but I had a good time with it. And I just think it's so batshit crazy at the very end because they merge the lore. There's the other side of Bigfoot lore, which is a lot the crazier side of it, which is people think they're telepathic or they have connections to aliens. So they explore that in that movie. And so I love that. But my favorite Bigfoot movie exists, and it's just the more I watch it. The first time I watched it, I was drunk. The other times I watched it, I was like, this movie is brilliant. I like it better than the Blair Witch Project, personally. And I think that's the best looking Bigfoot you're going to get in a Bigfoot movie.
Exists?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
That is probably the best Bigfoot movie to watch. I think, did you guys watch Willow Creek and not enjoy it?
We haven't seen it.
Okay.
Some people don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, those are the two best Bigfoot movies. Not even just found footage Bigfoot movies, but Bigfoot movies in general. But they are two completely polar opposite takes on Bigfoot. You have Willow Creek, which goes the less is more approach, and the big ultimate like scene is the tense scene. So I will forewarn you guys that it is slow because it is a very less is more, but people like myself really enjoy what they did with that, but then there are people who are like, I feel like nothing happened. Whereas on the other side, Exists is they throw everything in but the kitchen sink, and they're just like throwing stuff and see if it sticks, and it's a wild ride. But it is from the same group that did the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, okay.
So it's fantastically done. I do love it. One thing I do want to shout out, since we're talking about cryptids, is found footage is the best platform for cryptid movies. I think they just go super hand in hand because, like you guys had mentioned, of like why we want to believe in this. It's a part of it is the hunt, and with the hunt is the ability to catch it and be the person to catch it. So it just makes sense that you're going to record this, and it's always a good reason to have the camera on you.
Yep.
For me, my favorite cryptid movie is another found footage one, and it's newer, and it's Frogman, because I was not aware of this cryptid, even though it's, again, in the Midwest, relatively close in Loveland, Ohio. It is what it sounds like, a frogman, a very large frog that looks like a man. But it is such a wild movie. It goes really bonkers once it gets to where it needs to go, but it's such an entertaining movie. I had so much fun with it. They're making a second one. I cannot wait to see it. But yeah, that's a fantastic cryptid movie. I think it's one of the best ones that we have. I would shout out Exists and Willow to be in the top 3 along with it.
That's great. Frogman was so good. I love the effects on that. The creature design was so good, and like you see the tongue doing its thing, that was so amazing. I just love all of that. Yeah. Okay, are there any other cryptids that you all want to shout out?
Oh, we'll go with like Wendigos. It's one of my favorite like Native American legends. A movie for that is Antlers. A very good movie, but I love there's also a really good Supernatural episode on it, and it's like season 1 episode 2, I think. Yeah. I watched the shit out of the first season. Wendigos, though, they're people that have become cannibalistic and then gain powers, and I just think it's a really good story. I think it's really creepy. It's interesting. It's super dark as well. And I think Antlers, for the most part, captures it all. I think it was a good movie. I think I was just let down, kind of. But really cool design for the Wendigo in that movie.
Very gloomy and atmospheric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love the atmosphere in that movie, and I was let down, but only because of one detail. And it's because of that fucking mask he had on when they first show him. And he has on like I think it's a human face mask or something. But to me, it just looked so cheesy. I want to see the creature's face, not the stupid mask, you know? So that was my disappointment, just my personal thing. But yeah, good movie. And it kind of had some ritual vibes to it with the creature. Is that the Wendigo in the ritual? I can't remember.
I can't remember either, because it doesn't take place in North America, I don't think, does it?
Right. There must be some... No, I can't remember where it is now.
I mean, they're all English actors, right? In the movie.
It's been a long time. I need to go back and watch it again.
I know. I haven't seen it since it came out.
Yeah, I
Do you
want to
remember?
say UK movie.
Okay. Yeah, I need to go back and watch that again, because I just wrote it down because I remember that creature was so cool, and I remember loving that movie, but I did only watch it one time, so I need to go back and watch again.
Yeah, I've only seen it once too.
Okay. Let's see. Ooh, has anyone seen this episode of the TV series the Creep Show TV series, where they focus on it's like a Loch Ness Monster type, but it's in the northeast of the United States. The Lake Champlain Monster. Have you heard of that?
No.
No.
So that episode of Creep Show, I think it was Greg Nicotero did the creature design, but it's such a cool fucking creature. It's like a full practical effect, Loch Ness monster, basically. And it's massive, and they interact with it, and it's so cool. I love that episode. So I strongly recommend finding that one. I can't remember what it's called. Incident at Loch Ness is a funny movie. It's not a great movie, but I was entertained just because Werner Herzog is in it. And I thought that's always a good time to me. Did you like that? Oh, you did?
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I bought it.
I love that movie. I think it's such a fun time.
It is fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other cryptid movies that you can think of?
Just Krampus.
That you want to shout out?
Krampus is good one. I love Krampus.
Yeah.
That's a fun one too. The one with Toni Collette, because there's a lot of Krampus movies.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
yeah. I went down the line of I don't know if it was last year or the year before that I wanted to watch all the sci-fi Krampus movies.
Bad idea.
I remember when you
there's
did
gonna be a gem in there somewhere. There wasn't.
Nope.
that. Oh, one final thing I wanted to mention for local legends. I love trolls. Ever since I was a kid, I was obsessed with trolls. So I loved the movie Willow because they had trolls, but I wouldn't look at it because I was scared of them. And I would go to the library and cross over a bridge at the library and always imagine there were trolls under the bridge. So I loved this idea. So I love the movie Troll Hunter so much. I think it's is it found footage? I think so.
Is.
Yeah. Man, that's a great movie. And the creatures just are so creative. I love it. What do you think? Have you seen Troll Hunter, Mike?
Oh yeah, I absolutely love that movie. Obviously, with found footage, there are things that you're like, at some point, it was all about the realism of horror and trying to pretend that it was what you're watching was a real videotape. Troll Hunter is not that at all, but it's such a fun time, such a great story, and I do like the character designs, and I really like that movie.
Yeah. Have you all seen Troll Hunter?
Own it, but haven't gotten around to it yet. You guys are
Okay.
all listing off movies that I bought and intend to watch that week and haven't touched.
You get it. I always had this recurring nightmare when I was a kid that I would go out into my neighborhood, and the neighborhood was kind of wide open. It was surrounded by trees, but there was a lot of empty space in the middle. And I always had this image of a giant monster walking into that open space and slowly following me, and I'm trying to run away, but I can't run fast because it's a dream. So that movie gave me that feeling, because there's a giant troll in that movie that's walking around in open space, and it just gave me that same feeling that I had in that nightmare. So that's part of the reason that I love that movie, because I'm always chasing those sorts of feelings. All right. Any final notes about cryptids or local legends or lore before we move on?
Nope.
All right. This one is Campfire Tales. I like this. This category. So we're in October. Whenever we release this episode, we'll be in October, and it's Campfire Tale season. I love campfires as someone who probably did over 100 of them last year in my camper van at different camping sites. And however, I don't have anyone there to tell campfire tales to, so I'm telling them with you all today. Anyone want to share a story from their childhood that you remember, or any campfire story that you discovered?
I don't know if I necessarily have a story from a campfire, but I have a story from a sleepover. Could I say that?
Yeah, to me that's the same concept.
Okay, it's definitely going to be one that everyone knows, but Bloody Mary.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it scared the crap out of me. I couldn't even have a mirror in my bedroom.
What is Bloody Mary for those who don't, and just in case someone's watching this and doesn't know?
Yeah, so I remember having a sleepover with some girlfriends. We were really young, and you go to the mirror and you say Bloody Marys 3 times, 5 times. I get confused with
heard it
Canadian.
3 times, but I've heard other people say
I think
5.
3.
I've heard
Candyman
always
is 5, I
Okay.
think.
For me, it's
Okay,
three.
then it's 3. Okay, yeah. If Candyman's 5, then it's 3. For me at least. But yeah, you say her name 3 times and then she shows up in the mirror. And I remember some girls on my street said that another group of girls did this at a sleepover and they woke up with scratches all over their bodies the next morning. I was so scared to have a mirror in my bedroom after
Ooh.
that as a kid. It's terrifying.
Oh God. Yeah, I remember going to my dad's work because he worked at my school when I was a kid. He was like the grounds maintenance manager, and so sometimes I'd go to his office after school got over and wait for him to get off work, and the bathroom there had a big mirror in it. And so when we were kids, we were bored. We'd go to the bathroom there together and turn off the lights, and we'd say Bloody Mary into the mirror and spin around and do all that stuff. But we freaked ourselves out so much. We never saw her or anything like that.
Yeah.
But did anybody see anyone in the mirror when you were younger?
I don't know if I've ever tried it.
No, I would think I was too scared.
Okay. All right.
I
What else?
also have a book that scared me so bad when I was little. I ended up buying it as an adult a couple of years ago. And people online know what it is when they say the name, but you guys might know, you might not. But this is The Green Ribbon.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, it's a really short story. I could say it quickly if you want.
Yeah, go read it to us.
Okay.
This is the campfire moments.
Once there was a girl named Jenny. She was like all the other girls except for one thing. She always wore a green ribbon around her neck. There was a boy named Alfred in her class. Alfred liked Jenny and Jenny liked Alfred. Very simple story. One day he asked her, "Why do you wear that ribbon all the time?" "I cannot tell you," said Jenny, but Alfred kept asking, "Why do you wear it?" And Jenny would say, "It's not important." Jenny and Alfred grew up and fell in love. One day they got married. After their wedding, Alfred said, "Now that we are married, you must tell me about the green ribbon." "You still must wait," said Jenny. "I will tell you when the right time comes." Years passed. Alfred and Jenny grew old. One day, Jenny became very sick. The doctor told her she was dying. Jenny called Alfred to her side. "Alfred," she said, "now I can tell you about the green ribbon. Untie it and you will see why I could not tell you before." Slowly and carefully, Alfred untied the ribbon and Jenny's head fell off. That used to scare me so bad this was probably kindergarten.
Yeah.
But I remember this giving me chills when I was a kid, and now it's hilarious.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
this
that would have
book,
scared crap.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
It has to be.
In a dark, dark room and other scary stories.
Oh.
Ah.
Because I feel like, that story.
I remember
sounds like-
that. Yeah.
That story sounds like one of the stories from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which was another kids' super scary book with a bunch of little stories like that.
Ooh, so good.
And we used to read that, tell it to other people, and it would scare the crap out of us.
You never had that as
That's
a kid?
amazing.
Not that book.
Not the green ribbon story?
No, I've never even heard it.
Oh man.
That
I think
was
he told me about
fantastic. And his head fell off. I love that.
It's why she wears the ribbon.
That's great. It's just logical. Yeah. I thought you were gonna say that she took the ribbon off and you saw her wrinkles, and so she was actually 40 years old and not a teenager.
No.
Okay. Oh wait, what were we doing here? Oh, we were telling our campfire stories. That totally was back. Because I wanted to pause for a second because I forgot to show you something with cryptids. That's what I was going to do. Let's pause here for a second because I want to share my screen. This was like 4 years ago or something like that. It was right after my birthday. I was in Florida and I was running on a trail. That will be a very familiar trail to some people very soon. But I was running on this trail, and as I was coming back to my car at the end of my run, I saw this strange thing on the ground. So I was like, what is that? And I looked at it, and I took a picture of it. So let me share the picture. Okay. So this is what I saw, and I was like, that's interesting. Someone just put their hand, like one of their hands on the ground here. And then I stood up and I noticed right next to my foot,
Jeez.
Mm.
What size foot do you have?
10 and a half.
Oh, okay. So that's
Yeah.
big. Like maybe he's got
And
many feet.
I took more pictures, but these are the only ones I could find when I was searching for them. But there were 2 feet, and they kept walking into the woods like that. And there were more handprints as well, like that. So it was like something's walking on its hands and its foot like that. And
So you
some of
and
the
Shaquille
footprints.
O'Neal walk the same trails.
Yes, exactly. But that foot was huge, and I was like, what's going on here? So I took the pictures of it because it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's wild.
that's scary. I'd be never going back again.
Oh, and we are going back, or I'm going back. I go there every year, actually. But okay. All right. What are we doing? Oh, we were back on the
Campfire.
campfire. Thank you. All right. Who wants to go next and share a campfire story?
I'll okay.
Right.
I don't really
It doesn't
have
matter.
any. Like I'm just like I just don't really have any. Like I used to be a scout too, and we just never really told each other scary campfire stories. Other than like I would tell them about like scary movies I'd watched
I love
and
that.
like kind of retell those. But like that's about it to my extent of campfire stories.
Yeah, I mostly sang songs around the campfire.
What about you, Mike? Do you have any?
So we never did camp in for my family and like my culture. Kids, especially like sleepaway camp and like just going to with other people going camping. We were not allowed to do that. That was not something we could do. My family and I, like my parents and I and my sister, went camping a little bit, but we never. I was too young to do any type of like campfire stories like that. So kind of like Sam, some cousin sleepovers and stuff. The older kids would try to tell scary stories to scare the younger kids. And so I have 2 quick ones. One is similar to Sam's Bloody Mary. I think I probably have the name wrong, but I do know the story or what you're supposed to do a little well. Same thing of you're supposed to go in a dark room, preferably a bathroom, turn off all the lights, get in front of the mirror, and it's called Blue Baby. And you're supposed to rock your hands in front of the mirror and say Blue Baby like a few times. And what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to feel an actual baby in your hands. And if you drop the baby, the mom will come and tear up your face.
That's
Jesus.
terrifying.
So that's
so
one.
extreme.
And her
Jesus
name was
Christ.
Mary.
Probably, to be honest. But yeah, I knew of that one growing up. And then the other major story that was like the whisper and you telling the kids in school about an urban legend isn't, I don't know how real it is, but it's Resurrection Mary. It's a very famous tale, especially in the Chicagoland area, again, because this is supposedly a true story of a young girl who was out at a dance, and then she was walking down Archer Road, and she was an unfortunate victim of a hit and run, and they went back and they buried her in Resurrection Cemetery. And so now that place on Archer Road, it's in a suburb of Chicago. I want to say it's called Justice, Illinois, where this part of the cemetery is located. It is Resurrection Cemetery. And it is told that by a certain time, you can see like water in the area of where she passed. And some people have stated that a young woman in a white dress, a blonde young woman in a white dress, has appeared in their car asking for them for a ride home. And then when they drop her off, she vanishes. So it's this big urban legend of the Chicagoland area. But that was definitely every kid in school was telling someone that story, and that they knew someone who their big brother or their uncle or someone saw Resurrection Mary.
I love those sorts of stories, sitting around the campfire and telling them, or sitting in the sleepover party, like Sam was saying, or even if you're just sitting around having drinks with your friends or hanging out or something, and you can say a creepy little story like this. I think it's always fun. One of the stories that was kind of a local legend, or it is a local legend and kind of a cryptid as well in my area. It kind of spans the southeast region of the United States, because it starts in the mountains of Georgia, kind of where Angel, Voices from the Mausoleum, or not, she's in the southern part. But anyway, so the northern parts of Georgia and those mountains all the way up the Blue Ridge area into the Appalachia region. So this cryptid is primarily in Appalachia, and it's called Talipo. Has anyone heard of the Talipo?
Sounds familiar, but I'm gonna wait until I hear the rest.
Okay, so the Talipo creature is kind of like a fox bobcat mix, I would say, is probably the closest thing I could think of, and it's extremely violent and bloodthirsty, and it's really mean and bitchy, and all it wants is just to be left alone. So don't fuck with it. But it's not gonna hunt you down necessarily unless you fuck with it. But the Talipo legend, I think, is underrated in the horror community because this creature is so violent. But it's a great story to tell around the campfire too, because if you go into the woods, this story takes place in the woods. And I'll give you a brief version of it because you can extend it much longer. But it basically involves an older man who wants to retreat from society, and he has a cabin in the mountains, and he goes up there like half the year. And during much of that year, it's snowing, so he can't really come into town because it's so remote. So he goes into town like once every few months and gets all his supplies, and he has all his dogs up there with him. And so one day he's out hunting and everything, and he shoots this bizarre looking creature that he sees in the distance, and the creature runs off. He doesn't get it, but he gets the creature's tail. So he grabs the tail and he goes back home and he cooks up the tail and he eats it, because he knows that, you got to preserve the food that you have to get through the winter. So anyway, he goes to bed that night, and as he's going to bed, he hears this little scattering across the roof of the cabin or whatever. And the window's open, because he likes to keep the ventilation. And he hears this little thing that sounds like Talipo, like that. And he's like, oh, whatever. And so he sends his dogs out, and they go running off into the night, and he goes back to bed. And the next morning, his dogs always come back, but one of them was missing. And so they're like, okay, well, we got to go do our hunting for the day. We'll go look for the dog at the same time. So they go out there. They don't find the dog. He goes back. He's really concerned, of course, but he does his chores. He makes his dinner and he goes to bed. Later that night, he hears outside the wall, getting closer and closer to his bedroom area, a little scattering sound. And he hears that same thing. Talipo. And he sends his dogs out again into the woods and goes back to bed. And the next morning, only one of his dogs has returned. And so now he's starting to get concerned. And he's like, there's something out there in these woods that's getting these dogs. So I'm going to start sleeping with my gun. So same routine, goes back to bed. He's looking for his dogs all day. Doesn't find any sign of them anywhere. Goes back to bed. And he falls asleep. At some point in the night, he hears the loud sound of one of his last dog crying, and he can't find his dog anywhere. And he opens the door. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? and he can't find him. And so he grabs his gun and he jumps back into his bed and he's shaking and he's angry. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. And eventually he goes back to sleep because there's no point in trying to find them at night.
Mm.
And then later in the evening, he's awoken by this sound. It sounds right next to his bed, this scratching sound on the ground. And he hears this evil voice saying, Taily-po, Taily-po. And the man grabs his gun and he screams, I got your damn Taily-po. And then the creature jumps from under the covers and he says, yes, you do, and I want it back. And then he rips the man's insides open and he keeps just tearing him limb from limb until he finds his tail in the man's stomach. And he's reunited with his Taily-po. And that's the story of Taily-po.
Damn.
So that's a story that we would tell each other as kids, and it scared the crap out of us.
I like it.
So don't look, but actually you'll find some really good renditions of this on YouTube, primarily like short horror films that people made. Some do stop motion, some do live action. So it's pretty fun. All right. Any other campfire stories before we move on?
No.
Okay. All right. We're going to play a little game called Unsolved Mysteries before we move into the final category, which is Unsolved Mysteries. So for this game, did anyone watch that show growing up or anything?
I've seen it, but not enough to remember it. But I know that was something that was on back in the day.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched it.
I watched a few
Okay.
episodes of the new show that they put out, I think, right?
Yeah.
So Netflix revamped it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So,
Although,
they'd put together a collection of things that were like true crime and also paranormal or supernatural, and then try to get leads to help them solve these cases. So in this game, what we're going to do is I'm going to read you a mystery, an unsolved mystery that has been solved. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to figure out what was the solution to the mystery. And we're going to see if you're right. Okay. All right. So here we go for unsolved mystery number 1. These are the sailing stones of Death Valley. The sailing stones of Death Valley. Since the early 1900s, heavy boulders in California's racetrack playa were found inexplicably shifting across the cracked desert floor, trailing long serpentine tracks in the dry lake bed with no human or animal footprints nearby, conjuring eerie visions of supernatural forces or magnetic anomalies that baffled scientists and visitors for over a century. So the question is, how can you explain how these boulders were moved?
Oh my gosh. I'm really bad at like science and stuff.
That's not science. How do you?
I'm guessing something. It's something scientific, but
It could be, or it could be aliens.
aliens. Oh.
I'm going to go with tectonic plates because that sounds smart enough for me.
Hey, okay. All right. So Mike says the boulder shifted through tectonic plates. Brendan, do you need me to repeat the
no,
situation?
these are the rocks that
How
move
does it
slowly
go?
over
Oh,
the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this. I
Also,
should.
you know.
Oh,
I should know the answer, but I don't. But I've heard the phenomenon. I think don't they just get bigger? I can't remember.
so
I don't remember.
okay. So they get bigger, and so they roll. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think they just keep like collecting dust, so it looks like they're kind of like moving.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh.
Okay. What do you
I
think,
That's just my
Sam?
guess, yeah.
I'm gonna say something ridiculous. Someone came with a helicopter and a big rope and grabbed the boulders and moved them to scare people. and then flew away.
I love that.
Banksy or something like that. Okay, well, I think we're dancing around it. There's some good answers in here. It wasn't a helicopter though; it was a private jet. So no, it's not that one. So solved in 2014 when researchers captured the stones moving on camera. They were pushed by thin sheets of ice formed during rare winter rains, propelled by gentle winds across slick mud. So it's like a combination of ice, mud, and wind. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Yeah. But it did involve some gathering of dust or something. Okay. Next one. We're just going to do 3 of these and then we'll move to the last category. All right. Are you ready for the Mary Celeste ghost ship?
Ooh.
In 1872, the merchant brigantine Mary Celeste was spotted drifting eerily intact off the Azores in the Atlantic Ocean. Sails partially set, with warm meals uneaten on the table, a pipe still smoking, cargo of denatured alcohol barrels undisturbed, and yet the captain, his family, and crew of 7 vanished without a trace. Only the lifeboat missing, and the ship's log ending abruptly 9 days prior, conjuring tales of sea monsters or mutiny that perplex maritime experts for generations.
Sorry, so they just disappeared
Yes,
out on the water?
right.
Okay.
But this
I think-
was solved, so then that means they found the ship?
It was solved in, I guess they did. I guess they did find the ship. Or solved, it says solved in modern analyses, so it doesn't say if they found the ship.
Hmm.
Then I'm going to go Bermuda Triangle.
Okay, yeah.
That'll be my answer.
I'm gonna go. It was a family.
Yeah,
Or-
it was a family and a crew of 7.
I'm going either like some culty suicide where they all jumped overboard, or the dad murdered them all and threw them all overboard
Oh,
himself.
I love that answer.
I'm
triangle.
like that. So death and overboard.
That's a great movie title, Death and Overboard.
Death and overboard.
Starring Goldie Hawn.
Yeah. Kurt Russell, yeah. What do you think, Brendan?
I think that this is a situation due to the faulty canning done back in the day. So the canning would go bad and they wouldn't realize it, and they'd be essentially poisoning food, causing them to hallucinate and go crazy. So they would eventually come up to some idea where they had to leave the ship and abandon it and probably perish out at sea.
Oh.
How
Death
the
and
fuck did
overboard.
you come up with canning?
That is.
It's a real thing.
That was like they just pulled that out of nowhere. I love that. That was
Have you-
crazy.
Have you ever seen The Terror?
No, that's
the-
been on my list. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, the AMC TV show. It's kind of what they think happened there.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's great. I love that, Brendan. You get an MVP award for that one, whether or not it's right. But let's see what happened on the Mary Celeste. Sorry, buddy. I know Judy's feeling it too. We're almost there. Mary Celeste was spotted drift. Oh, I already read that. Solved in modern analyses, concluding the crew, fearing an explosion from alcohol fumes after a faulty pump suggested flooding, hastily abandoned ship in the lifeboat, misjudged their proximity to land, and perished in the rough seas.
Oh.
So you're very close.
But it also, the cans also had something to do with it. So there you go. All right. Last one, the Umbrella Man. Has anyone heard of the Umbrella Man? Not the man with the black umbrella.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing
I'm
I've
like,
heard.
wait.
Heard either of those.
That's weird. Oh wait, that's so weird. Did you watch this movie, Mike? Man in the Black
I did
Umbrella?
not watch it yet.
I watched it last night. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything about it, but it's so weird that came up because I wasn't even thinking about it. But I can't say anything because it'll spoil it. Okay. The man. Oh, that's not what it's called. The Umbrella Man in the JFK assassination. Okay, here we go. Amid the chaos of November 22nd, 1963, in Dallas, Texas, as President Kennedy's motorcade passed under a clear blue sky, a solitary figure in a dark suit stood unmoving, unfurling a black umbrella. I didn't know it was black too. That's scary. Unfurling a black umbrella despite the sunny weather, pumping it open and closed just moments before the fatal shots rang out. So he opened and closed it right before the shots rang out, fueling shadowy theories of coded signals to assassins or a concealed dart gun for over a decade. Okay. Who was this Umbrella Man?
Oh, the mystery is who is it?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think he was? Yeah.
What is it called?
It really could be that Man with the Black Umbrella. I wonder if that movie had any influence by this, because that's kind of weird now that I think about it.
They're like a rogue CIA agent? Turncoat?
Ooh,
is that what they're called?
Okay. Turncoat. All right. That's a good guess.
I don't know. I don't know.
It was just a store owner.
Just a person standing there.
I was gonna say it's just a person too.
Just
Like
a regular dude.
No, you're all wrong. It was marketing for the Man with the Black Umbrella. No, it was. Let's see here. Where is it? Solved in 1978, so only 15 years later, when Louis Stephen Witt came forward explaining the umbrella as a pointed visual protest, referencing Neville Chamberlain's appeasement of Hitler. Purely coincidental. Or is it? Find out in Men with the Black Umbrella. This whole episode has been one giant con to get you to watch Man with the Black Umbrella. Okay, that's it. Let's do one more. Actually, I have to do one more. The Children of Woolpit. Have you heard of that? The Green Children. Okay. The Green Children. During a harvest in the 12th century in the English village of Woolpit, two siblings, a boy and a girl with unnaturally green skin, dressed in unfamiliar shimmering cloth, speaking an incomprehensible tongue, emerged dazed from nearby wolf pits, refusing all food except raw beans, claiming to hail from a twilight land called St. Martin's, where the sun never rose, inspiring medieval lore of fairy realms or underworld visitors that lingered unsolved for centuries. So who were these Woolpit children?
I'm thinking they were part of some sort of those communities that are outside of society, and they're like tribes and they live on their own, and if you go near them they could get sick because their immune systems aren't all up like ours, those kinds of things. I'm going to say they were part of that community and wandered off and somehow got into regular society.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of copy Sam's answer because I think
I wasn't sure of the name either.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it. What do you think, Brendan?
I'm gonna go with they're green and talking incomprehensible language. They were eating too much of something. They were eating too much of something green.
Spinach.
Go.
It's Popeye's revenge.
Yes. How about some magical green beans?
Oh, it's the okay. That's a good one. They were eating magic green beans that grew into a beanstalk, and you climbed up it and saw the giant. All right,
And it
we'll
made
see.
them crazy.
And it made him crazy. Okay. Solved by historians attributing their hue to a condition called chlorosis from severe malnutrition and arsenic tainted water. The children, likely orphaned, Flemish immigrants fleeing persecution, their twilight land is a distorted memory of war-torn St. Martin amid language barriers and severe trauma.
Oh.
So they're a lot less fantastical than our horror movies, I have to say. But in our horror movies, these would be some aliens of some sort. But yeah. All right. Well, let's move to Unsolved Mysteries, and then we'll be at the end of our panel here. So are there any mysteries in history, whether it's in your country or in the world, that remain unsolved to this day that are interesting to you? And anyone can start, whoever wants to.
I just looked up online to see if there's anything local. I found one in Toronto, which is like a couple hours from us. It was Ambrose Small. He was a theater owner and he sold his empire for 1.7 mil. This was a long time ago. Don't ask me what year because I already forget. Actually, I think I left the page up. Yeah, in 1919, Ambrose Small. He sold his empire for 1.7 mil, and him and his wife went to deposit the money, and then they went out on the street and they went their separate ways. He said he would be home for dinner, but he never ended up coming home. He just disappeared. So some people think maybe she killed him. Some people think he left. He just left. Something like there's all these different theories.
Where'd the money go?
Probably left with her. They deposited it into their account. So she could have gotten rid of him. She didn't report it for 2 weeks though, because apparently it was very it wasn't weird for him to disappear like that for long periods of time.
I'm sure.
I know.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Oh my god. I am obsessed with true crime, by the way. I'm not sure if you all know this about me, but I do spend at least an hour a day watching true crime stuff. So I love these sorts of stories. Okay. Any other unsolved mysteries?
I guess for me, I would just say historically, because I know it's not all people have theories and stuff, but like kind of some stuff that Stonehenge and like the pyramids, I think is a cool.
Yeah.
People still don't necessarily know how that happened, I guess, but I'm sure that's easily explained. But that's all.
Well,
I
maybe
can really
not so easily if they still can't explain it. But the like things like Bermuda Triangle too, I think that counts. Lost City of Atlantis. There's all kinds of things like that. That's
Yeah.
like maybe there's some truth to it, and it's just been exaggerated over the years, kind of like the Bigfoot mythology. So who knows? Okay. Oh, buddy, you want to take him out and let him pee? Is that what he's?
He just wants
attention. He's just
That's
talking.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's getting in on
Okay.
the convo.
He's
That's
getting
okay.
out.
I got you.
Yeah,
There
you come
go.
up and tell your unsolved mystery.
Come on.
Yeah. Yes. Do you have an
Like, I
unsolved
don't know.
mystery, Brenda?
I think there's lots of really good unsolved mysteries, like what happened to Atlantis? Where was it even? Which is a really cool one because like Atlantis is like supposed to hold like the most advanced technology like at the time for so long, and then it just disappears off the map out of nowhere. Nobody seems to know where it is. So I'm always interested in like that stuff. Whereas for like true crime kind of stuff, we just watched a documentary on this girl that disappeared off the cruise ship.
Oh,
I'm surprised you didn't bring that up.
yeah. What's her name?
I don't know. I thought you would
did you
know.
guys watch that with the cruise ship? It was in
No.
the 90s.
Sophie Turner.
Wait, is that?
No, that's Game of Thrones.
I got no clue.
No,
The
she goes
big
on
one
a
in the
cruise ship with
90s
her
was-
family.
Was it
And-
Jean Benet Ramsey?
No, it was a
Or-
woman.
Oh, okay.
She goes missing on a cruise ship, and like, how do you go missing on a cruise ship, right? And people thought there's all these theories. Like people say they saw her with a man, and then they went to port the next day, so people think he smuggled her out, and like she's in the trade now. People have seen photos of her on like pornographic websites and stuff, and like years later and whatnot. But then other people are saying it's not actually her. Like there's so many conspiracy theories around this. It's a crazy documentary. It's Netflix, so I don't know how much of it is like legit. But it was a really good watch, and it's really scary, and it makes me want to go and find her. Like that's how sucked in I got to this. But she also could have just fallen overboard, right? She was also drinking, so like it could just be something simple like that. But the family is not done looking for her, and it's wild. Amanda something.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to watch that. That sounds right up my alley. Yeah. There's so many of those like famous cases where like the Jean-Benet Ramsey one from the 90s that everyone was so obsessed with that are still unsolved. They solved the Tupac murder though. That was an unsolved mystery for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
They used to put that on like the tabloid things, you know, like Tupac is still alive with Elvis, you know, that sort of stuff.
Why is it not popping up? Amy Bradley.
Okay.
Amy Bradley is Missing is the documentary.
Oh, okay. I'll look it up. That sounds great.
Yeah, there's tons of people that have said they spotted her, so it's like a really eerie story. But
okay. Any others? I think I have what was my unsolved mystery? Oh, I just wanted to shout out Roanoke. The lost colony of Roanoke is a famous one as well. That's still on there. Oh, I have a really good one. I have a really good one actually. Okay, so have you heard of DB Cooper?
Yep.
Okay, so who is DB Cooper, Brendan? Do you remember who that is?
DB Cooper is a bank robber, right? And then he hijacked a plane and then he disappeared. Like he jumped out the plane and you could never find him. And all of his money was gone too.
It's a crazy story. Yeah, he has successfully hijacked a plane in the Pacific Northwest. I think it was in Washington State or Oregon, one of those. But he hijacked a plane. No one could ever figure out why he did it or why he wanted to. No one knows who he is because DB Cooper was not his real name, and they have no clue who this guy was whatsoever, even to this day. But this happened in the 70s, I think. But he got on the plane at some point. They were up in the air. He gets up. He hijacks the plane. He's like, take us to the airport, and I have a demand for money. And so they took him to the airport. They brought the money to the airplane. They got back onto the airplane, and he got back into the air. And when they were in the air, he jumped out somewhere in the woods of Oregon. So they have no clue what happened to him. Some kid found the money because it was traceable. Some kid found the money years later, but that was the only sign they ever found of DB Cooper. And there's a horror movie about this. So there's a horror movie called Bigfoot versus DB Cooper. So it's the best of both worlds. We have the cryptid and we have DB Cooper.
What a wild.
Should you watch this movie? I say yes, of course. If you watch this movie, will you hate me forever? But there you go. Bigfoot versus DB Cooper. Any movies you want to shout out for Unsolved Mysteries besides that one? I also have Zodiac, which is a fantastic movie of an unsolved mystery.
The Strangers, like the Strangers have never knows who's under the mask.
Yeah.
So I'll throw that one out there since Strangers 2, Chapter 2 just came out.
Right. That's good.
Yay.
I was like, I feel like I know or that I've seen movies with unsolved mystery, but they're all escaping me right now.
I know. I tried thinking today and I couldn't come up with any besides The Strangers and Zodiac I wrote down.
Yeah, Zodiac was like one of the only ones I could really think of. And then I don't know how DB Cooper came to me again, but yeah, I'm glad it did because that's a wild story. Do you have any, Brendan?
I actually don't. I was trying to sit there and kind of wonder if I have any too that I could think off the top of my head. I mean, Without a Paddle is also based on the DB Cooper thing. That's why they go into the woods in the begin with. But it's a comedy. It's not
Okay.
a horror movie.
That was like the movie I was thinking. I was like, the
Yeah.
comedy with,
I
is it
know.
with Seth Green?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
he's in that
I'm
one.
like, what?
Matthew Lillard, I think.
Okay. I did not know that
Yeah.
that's. Well, I only saw that movie when it came out, so that was so long
Yeah,
ago.
me too.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I have any unsolved mysteries.
there's probably a
Sam
lot.
already,
It's
Sam already
just-
took Zodiac, so. Or no, sorry, Isaiah.
Yeah, those are. Well, I mean, that's the most obvious one too, because it's like one of the most famous cases that's remained unsolved over the years, even though everyone knows that it's actually Senator Ted Cruz from Texas. But anyway,
Oh, I actually
Yeah,
do
Mike.
have one. I was about to look it up too, but it did come to me because I guess it was based off of a true story from Texarkana, but the town that dreaded sundown,
Oh.
because
Oh,
they
the
never
movies.
found out who committed those murders.
I've only seen the
That's
remake,
good.
but I loved it. I gotta watch the OG.
So good. The OG
I
is
think
really
they're
good
both
too.
really good. That's one where I will say the remake is just as good as the original.
Yep, I
Okay.
agree with that. I agree. All right. Any other final comments? We did it. We did it. We made it through the bitter unknown. Are you terrified? Can you sleep tonight?
Let us know if
Um,
there's sleep paralysis demons after today.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hope not.
Stop bringing
I
it
think-
up.
I don't think that it comes to you through like an impressionable moment. I think it comes to you through periods of really intense psychological stuff going on and stress. And if you don't have any sort of outlet for it and you're not getting it out in any way, then it might get out that way. But
I'm shocked I never experienced this.
does anyone remember this? Speaking of experiences, does anyone remember the Willy Wonka experience in Scotland that happened a few years ago? It was kind of a viral thing online for a while, but it was like this live experience that people paid lots of money for, and it was like, go experience Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompas, but it was like this horrible disaster. It's like it was like some scam, and nothing happened. But he had done everything through AI. So the event planner had used AI to write the entire script and had not edited it because he trusted AI entirely. And so it made absolutely no sense. And it was horrifying. So there's children at this event, and the centerpiece of this event was a creature named the Unknown. And that is who this panel was named after. So let me show you a picture of the Unknown, which is not in the movie Willy Wonka and is not in the book that Willy Wonka is based on. It's purely an invention of AI. So let me show you the Unknown.
Why do I feel like it's gonna be a jump
Yeah,
scare?
I'm genuinely also
It's-
getting
it's
anxious
not-
about
it's
what's
not
going
gonna
to
be-
look like.
It's not a no, it's not. Wait. Okay. Here it is.
Oh,
So this is
so creepy.
so at this live event, the children were shuddered in front of this creature called the Unknown that AI had put together without the event planner knowing about it. And they just hired these actors. These actors were like, okay, dude, whatever you say, man, I'm just here for paycheck. And these poor kids are subjected to the Unknown, who comes out and is just like, woo. And then there's all these creepy Oompa Loompas. It is just, I highly recommend looking at the Willy Wonka experience. But thank you to that experience and to AI, I guess, in this case, for giving us the Unknown so we could name our panel after you. So there you go. Look it up sometime because it's pretty funny. All right. Thank you all so much for giving me your time again. I'm so happy we could do this before October comes, whenever we're all going to be super busy, but I'm glad we could all gather for another panel before October hits. So
Yeah, thanks
thank
for having us.
you.
Thanks as always.
Yes. Thank you all so much. I'll see you next time.